40 years of conflict, and now PKK fighters are laying down their arms. Could this moment become a model for peace in other regions?
Today is May 13th, 2025. The PKK, after decades of armed struggle, has announced its disbanding, part of a peace deal with Türkiye. This group has shaped politics, security, and daily life in the region since the late 1970s. But why now? What changed to make this possible?
That's at the heart of it. For over 40 years, the PKK fought for Kurdish autonomy and rights, mostly inside Türkiye, but also influencing Syria and Iraq. Their decision to dissolve comes after a peace agreement, months in the making, between PKK leaders and the Turkish government. Officially, Türkiye calls this a unilateral PKK step, but there are clear signs of negotiation behind the scenes. So what did the PKK get in exchange for giving up its arms?
Reports suggest a mix of assurances, more cultural rights for Kurds, increased political representation, and investments in Kurdish-majority regions. So things like recognition of Kurdish identity, language rights, and local governance, these long-standing demands will now be handled through politics, not fighting. But is that enough to satisfy everyone?
And it goes beyond policy. The agreement includes amnesty for some political prisoners, reintegration programs for ex-fighters, and international mediation to oversee the process. Regional governments, especially in Iraq and Syria, are watching closely. The PKK's presence in their territories has always been a source of friction. How are they responding?
At the moment, they're cautiously optimistic. Both Iraq and Syria have dealt with cross-border PKK activities for years. Now, with reports of violence dropping at those borders, there's some relief, but also uncertainty. Do you think the peace can hold, given the PKK's history in the region?
That's unclear. International organizations, the UN, the EU, have welcomed the deal, offering technical and financial support for rebuilding and reconciliation. NGOs are expected to lead disarmament and reintegration. But for people living in these conflict zones, what changes?
For many, this is a chance to rebuild, literally. Communities in southeastern Türkiye, northern Syria, parts of Iraq, they've all been deeply affected by decades of conflict. Now, there's hope for jobs, education, a return to ordinary life. But reconciliation isn't automatic. Can real trust grow after so much violence?
That's the core challenge. There are always spoilers, hardliners within the PKK or Turkish nationalists who may reject peace efforts. And there's the practical side. Reintegrating thousands of former fighters isn't simple. Jobs, support services, rebuilding community trust, these all take time. If reforms stall or violence returns, what then?
And the regional context matters, too. Instability in nearby countries could spill over, or changes in Turkish politics could shift priorities. So, while this peace deal is a breakthrough, it depends on both sides keeping their commitments, even when things get difficult. Do you see this as a blueprint for other conflicts, or is it a unique case?
On the world stage, the PKK's disbandment suggests negotiation can sometimes succeed where conflict hasn't. It's a sign that even long-standing disputes can move toward resolution. But will other groups learn from this? Or is this situation just too specific to copy elsewhere?
To wrap up, the PKK's dissolution ends one of the Middle East's longest insurgencies. There's hope for stability and rebuilding, but the path ahead is complicated. Everyone's watching to see if this peace will last, and whether it can offer lessons for other conflict zones.
Thanks for being with us. The end of the PKK marks a new chapter, not only for Turkey, but for the entire region. We'll keep following how this peace develops.
Stay tuned for more analysis, and as always, thank you for listening.